I do what I do.
We will fight, and we will not die quietly. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Following this bold emergence of the Deacons of Defense in Jonesboro, justice didn't fade into some local legend. They multiplied. And the message began to spread, and the model of armed community self-defense across the South, it went. The next major from, they went from, as I said earlier, they went to Bogalusa, which is a timbered town that has a long, bloody history of anti-Black violence and deeply entrenched racial hierarchies, and one of the most active Ku Klux Klan chapters in the nation. Bogalusa was a powder keg. You see? They even at the local paper mill, it was called the Crown Zellerbach Paper Mill. They had these strict racial segregation that would suppress labor organizing, particularly amongst Black voters. And so by 1965, the Klan particularly, it ran the town. And Black residents were routinely harassed and attacked and unalived, while the local police looked the other way or sometimes joined in. And this was the environment of open racial warfare that the second official chapter of the Deacons, this is where we formed. So we went to the heart of it. You see what I'm saying? You see how quickly Black men, righteous, upright Black men, shut down all of that? You see, and this is what happened when you're dealing with bullies. Because at the end of the day, the Ku Klux Klan and all these, they just bullies. The only reason they think they can win is because they think we got more guns than them, but you ain't got no heart. You see? So after establishing a foundation in Bogalusa, Ernest Chili Willie Thomas and Frederick Douglass Kirkpatrick, they handed leadership to three other courageous men, a fellow named Robert Hicks, they call him Bob, and he was a World War II veteran. He was a proud homeowner, and he became the public face of the Bogalusa Deacon. He had already been under surveillance by white supremacists, and he refused to back down. And when the Klan firebombed his house while his children were asleep inside, it only strengthened his resolve. There was another brother named Charles Sims. He was a local activist and a strategist, and Sims helped organize patrols and establish communications between chapter and coordinated defense efforts with civil rights groups operating in the area. And there's another brother, A.Z. Young. He was a charismatic young brother, the marcher, tireless. You know what I'm saying? He became known for his determination and dignity, and he stood on the front lines during the protests and the parades in defiance of the Klan. And together they transformed Bogalusa into this highly disciplined, effective defense force, okay? And the Deacons of Bogalusa, they weren't just guarding homes. They escorted these civil rights workers and protected the marchers, and they formed armed motorcades, and they shielded children walking to these newly integrated schools. You see? So the National Guard couldn't be everywhere. You had Black men armed with guns taking care of their children. You see? And the tension reached a breaking point when the first Black deputy sheriff of Washington Parish, a man named O'Neal Moore, was assassinated in 1865, shot in broad daylight. And the killing was, quote unquote, never solved, and no charges were filed. What happened to Back to Blue? Only if he don't look like you, right? Let that be a lesson to all you Black officers out there. Thin blue line, right? But this brazen act it only confirmed what many already knew. Black people could no longer rely on the state for protection. And in response, the federal government invoked Reconstruction era laws, including the enforcement of an act called 1870, and they deployed the federal marshals to monitor the Klan. And as a direct result, the Deacons' presence and the rising public pressure, that's what happened. It was getting hot down there in Bogalusa, you see? So the thing is, chapters, well, let me say this, in 1966, after the civil rights activist James Meredith was shot while attempting to march against fear from Memphis to Jackson, Mississippi, the idea of armed protection became unavoidable. It had to happen. And activists, including Stokely Carmichael, Floyd McKissick, and even Dr. Martin Luther King, who had long adhered to nonviolence, were forced to reconsider how defenseless Black people should be said we need to get these deacons for defense out here. You understand me? So do you see where this term black power came? You see, hopefully it's all starting to fall in for you, because we went from way back to 1500 and we all the way up to 1965. Some of your mamas were alive. Some of you all have heard remnants of this story, but nobody ever talks to you. Are you learning something? Are you learning something? I'm gonna ask you a little later on. Are you learning something? Nevertheless, after this time period, this is when the Deacons of Defense, their impact became fully national. Chapters, they had 21 chapters all across Chicago, Detroit, 21 chapters, and 46 affiliate chapters, including covert units that train quietly within church basements and veteran halls. That's some brothers, that's some strategy right there. We don't need to make a big show about this. We know who we are. You understand? In each city, they work with the local NAACP units, the SNCC organizers, and the black churches. And they provided armed escorts and counter surveillance and tactical planning to keep organizers alive. So you telling me in all these nonviolent movements, all this NAACP, they had the Deacons of Defense. Why haven't we heard about this? Because this is not something they want to tell you about. They don't want to tell you about your willingness to put it all on the line, especially black men. Ladies, sisters, they want you to think black men were on their knees begging and we shall overcome. You, that ain't tell you they had a brother right over there with that thing on him standing right. They never tell you that. They want you to see black men as cowards and cowards. They want you to believe we was all turned the other cheek. They didn't know brothers had that iron with them, surrounding the thing, doing counterintelligence. That we knew the FBI was here. We know where they stood. So they watching our people, and our people are watching their people. It's a beautiful thing. You see what I'm saying? And this is America. It's a beautiful thing. This is what we do in America. I love it. I love America. Yeah, freedom. This is what freedom looks like. You see what I'm saying? Now, the media is going to downplay the role of the Deacons of Defense. That's why you don't really have a lot of conversations about it. You see? But the FBI director, J. Edgar Hoover, he saw him as a serious threat. You see? And so COINTELPRO, the FBI began to aggressively target the Deacons, and they infiltrated the meetings, and they recruited black informants, and they harassed some of the members with round-the-clock surveillance. But by then, the Deacons had already shifted the tone of black resistance in America. They did what they had to do. And so what was the legacy of that? They left the blueprint for the Black Panthers and everybody else beyond. The Deacons began to decline in 1968. So about 4 or 5 years later, they set the blueprint and they began to decline. They had done what they were supposed to do. And what ended up happening was the Black Panther Party had captured the national attention. Now, the Black Panther Party, a lot of students, okay, a lot of young people. These older brothers, they old. You see what I'm saying? 45, 50, 55, these are war veterans. They'd put it on the line before. But the Black Panther Party picked it up. Young folk, students in Berkeley, out of California. Them old boys from the deep South, Louisiana, they thought different, moved different. But nevertheless, the Deacons of Defense, they proved that armed black resistance was not only possible, but effective. And they forced this white power structure to reconsider their impunity. They gave rise to a generation of black activists who refused to beg for rights already guaranteed by law. And most importantly, they reminded black Americans and the world that nonviolence is a tactic, not a surrender. And when peaceful protest is met with violent repression, self-defense is not radical, it's rational. That's the same thing our black ancestors figured out. Somebody typed Florida problem in the chat room. Somebody typed the Creole in the chat room. This is America. This is what I don't want you. This is the most American thing that has ever, this is what makes America great. We fight for our freedom. You understand what I'm saying? We're not out here begging. The founding fathers of our country didn't beg great Britain for freedom. They didn't beg the king. They say, okay, if you want it, come take it.
What's up, what's up, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome to the broadcast. This is Uncle D.
People wash their ass in the tub, Kamala Harris.
You were tuned in to Uncle D. D's black man talk. Pull up, homie, take a seat. Don't be a shadow watcher every day. You learn something, then you earn something. Let them know and drop some money in the plate. It's getting cold, ladies, talking ratchet. There's a king here, grab your coat, zip your jacket. Keep quiet for a second, close your jaw. Attorney Spurling, this ain't pearly, know the law. Talking Constitution, pushing pins when he shootin', give him that. Masculinity, just for the record, sprinkle that. You can keep your cat, gotta cut it. Only cat he rubbing, gotta love it. I call it Molly Buddy. Gotta vote your interest, voting earns. Presidential, this is for the money that I earn. When you gon' learn, my people, that evil mixed with evil. No matter what you're doing, baby, this ain't equal. Sometimes when you're special, you get hated. The test is for the best, you're damn right, my people made it. Uncle D, Blizzard King, you been served, gotta notice. Now black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now. Uncle D, you been served, get your notice now. Black men out here know we winning, gotta hold it now.
Hey man, I'll do what I do.
Somebody need to whip your ass.
Get up and whip him, Sweets.
Hey, don't be putting the money in my hand all rough.
Take your ass out here. You buy you a Flowbee and cut your own damn hair from now on.